Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 3. Oh, J-Rock is online. How nice. Welcome to Game 3 between Hyun and Revival, and I understand why I am absolutely so confused, because they switched colors in between Game 1 and Game 2. Alright, we are tied up at 1 game apiece in this, what I now know to be a best-of-3 series, and yeah. In a Zerg versus Zerg mirror match, in a best-of-3 series, don't switch colors on the casters. That's just so mean. Hyun spawning as the blue Zerg on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Revival spawning on the top right-hand side of the map as the red Zerg. And because they've been swapping colors all willy-nilly, I cannot give you any accurate prediction of what they're gonna try to do. So far, it looks as though Hyun may be going for perhaps a faster spawning pool, and yes, he is. There you go. There is that faster spawning pool. Now, one of the reasons why Zerg build orders in general are so flexible like this early on, especially in Zerg versus Zerg, it has to do with this additional third resource for Zerg. Now, even though this hatchery here, this hatchery produces one larva, I believe it's one larva every 20 seconds. Now, it produces one larva every 20 seconds up until there are 3 larvae. Now, what is good about this is that if you are down to, say, if you are down to 0 or 1 larva, you can delay building your additional drones and save up minerals for that spawning pool and then build drones, and you really won't lose as much build time as compared to, say, Protoss or Terran, where you have a queue, and every time you're not building a probe or an SCV, that is time lost. Now, let's look at this already. Revival going for a very early hatchery, and this is a hatch first before pool, and wow, Hyun is gonna be on the aggressive. Hyun now moving out with a lot of Zerglings, and what is Revival going to do to respond? He is not canceling this hatchery. A little bit of a surprise there, as Hyun is now going to be spotting down this rather early hatchery. Hatchery is about halfway completed, so is this spawning pool, and that means that these Zerglings are going to have free reign inside the base, at least for a little while, until more Zerglings and Queens are able to counteract it. In comes the Zerglings trying to deal some damage to the hatchery. Hatchery is going to pretty much stay stagnant, or actually losing a little bit of life over time. Revival is smart enough to know that he is at least buying himself time before those Zerglings get inside the base. Hatchery is going to be completed. This is interesting as well, as a queen is now going to be completed, and now we see an overlord on the inside. The hatchery was not canceled, and this could be the beginning of a bad day, as drones are now coming down. And is this going to be enough? The drones going after the Zerglings, and the Broodlings coming out to engage as well, as we see a loss of 350 resources already. Wow. A new hatchery is going to be forced to be placed down. There are Zerglings in position here, and what a bad play by Revival. If Revival had got that drones, or brought his drones down earlier, he would not lost those 350 resources. Zerglings and Zerglings still chasing each other across the map. It looks as though these Zerglings are just going to be doing a little bit of chase here, as some Zerglings decide to back off and hold the Zelnaga tower, just in case Hyun was going to do a run by with another group. We can see also an Overlord has spotted the hatchery off over here, so Hyun does have a slight advantage being up on bases, as we are going to see a little bit of a dance going back and forth once more. Harvester count 18 compared to 17. Hyun now catching up, but Revival training up 5 drones at a time. He may get a little bit of an advantage there, as the Queen up in front shooting off those darts and getting in a lot of damage. Let's take a look at the overall numbers. Hyun now training up 6 drones at a time. Revival perhaps waiting for another inject to go off, getting up a second queen. Still no gas down, as we are going to see double extractors just being placed down at almost the same time as Hyun places down these double extractors. One thing I will note, these two players are in fact on the same team, so they do practice against each other very, very often. They know the strengths and the weaknesses of their opponent, and they're trying to exploit them. So both of these players already coming to the table with a very, very interesting mindset. None of this trying to feel each other out based upon a limited number of games. Zerglings may be able to get off like some hits there. No, the Zerglings are able to run away down to 2 hit points, and you can see that those Zerglings behind trying to get off some more shots. Are they going to be able to get off the necessary shots there? Oh, there is one stop there, and now the Zerglings are still on the run at 2 hit points. This one Zergling ever so gung-ho, but I don't believe it will catch up in time, as this Zergling does or will be able to take off 2 hits in just a moment. And there's that not metabolic boost, but just faster movement speed because he is on creep. Triple spine crawlers now being added on the front, as we are going into a 2 base versus 2 base setup. 38 drones versus 30, but Hyun sitting on 14 larvae should be able to explode in just a moment. But you can see that Hyun is still a bit supply blocked, sitting at 45 over 44, not keeping track of his macro nearly as much. 13 drones now being trained, so 39 to 30 or 40 drones compared to 31. And Revival still has a better macro in this game coming out so far, staying on top of not being supply blocked. Being supply blocked with 13 larvae this early in the game is a lot of minerals lost for Hyun. Metabolic boost timings are about the same, only a half a minute difference between these two teams. 66 over 68 compared to 68 over 68, and Revival now getting in more overlords still. Hyun sitting at 70 over 76, and we are looking for what could possibly be that next engagement. Zerglings may be forced to retreat and re-engage in a better flank here, and this small window may be able to perhaps get a surround on even more Zerglings, and Revival really capitalizing on the fact that he has metabolic boost and his opponent doesn't. Revival, however, now being forced to run away, as Hyun now getting that metabolic boost, and both sides are chasing after each other. Hyun coming out a little bit ahead. Overall worker supply 51 to 43. More Zerglings still being trained. Are we going to perhaps see a queen? More Zerglings now going to engage here. And there you have it, a bit of a tug of war where whoever has more Zerglings is in the lead. But then again, Hyun now morphing in 23 Banelings, and this is absolutely a nightmare for Revival. What is Revival going to be doing here? Is he going to lose a lot of these Zerglings, as those Banelings now making their way inside? They are trying to get off some shots here, and this is not good news whatsoever. The Banelings now going to continue to just make their way in, and the drones have to be very careful. Oh my goodness. 21 workers killed in just a moment's notice, and now Hyun coming in with even more Banelings. Are they going to be able to detonate on a good group? Drones are finally being split. Roaches are down here at the bottom of the ramp, as the Banelings are now just trying to find some good hits. That was not a good exchange at all. Worker kill count up to 25. We are now at 26 drones compared to 43. A difference of 17. And wow, what a difference a Baneling makes. Roaches. And taking a look at the overall army supply, worker supply, army supply of Revival is slightly larger. The Roach is unable to really do much damage there, as the Queen now going after some Zerglings. Meanwhile, back over here, the Zerglings chasing after drones, but they will easily get cleaned up by the Roaches, who are now looking to defend each of those mineral lines. More and more Zerglings are coming over to reinforce. There is a new base off over here. Revival already operational on this additional base, and surprisingly enough, Revival does have superior supply count, but Hyun is now going into a transition of Mutalisk. Mutalisk very, very strong, and in general, the Zerg player who gets Mutalisk first is the Zerg player who wins, just because if you have a superior number of Mutalisks, say 10 Mutalisks versus 4, at the end of that battle, it's still probably 10 Mutalisks or 9 Mutalisks versus 0, as the numbers just start to snowball in the other favor. Revival now coming in. Is it going to be able to perhaps take down one of those spine crawlers? One spine crawler getting transfused a lot, as Banelings now trying to make their way in. Banelings looking to detonate, and it looks like they are hitting their targets, but trying to hit multiple targets, not working out all too well still. Alright, Roach is still coming in over to engage, and Revival has a very small window to attack here as the drones are getting picked off. More and more Roaches coming in. It looks like one Spine Crawler is going to go down, as now the Roaches are still trying to engage here. How much damage are they going to do? Let's take a look at the worker kill count. It is 6, as now this last Spine Crawler is going to go down. Mutalisks are now coming out, though, and as soon as those 9 Mutalisks are out, things are going to look very bad. But Hyun says GG right as the Mutalisks do pop. Wow. Revival able to get off the counterattack and knowing the perfect window to attack here, as Hyun could have taken the lead if Revival did not counterattack. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this best of 3 series between Hyun and Revival.